Colleen, the beauty of me reading the book after knowing the casting is you can start to visualize a little bit, you know, what it could look like, what these characters look like. When you see Blake Lively as Lily Bloom for the first time, your reaction is?
I will never picture anyone else. Like,
Right.
she is absolutely perfect for the role. When he told me that she was thinking about taking it, I refused to get excited because I was like, oh, what if it doesn't happen? Because I was so excited that that was a possibility. And man, she knocked it out of the park. Yeah. And their chemistry together is insane.
You could tell the chemistry even just in the first look photos, like the stills, before you could even see any of the visual medium. So that says a lot about you too.
Blake Lively could have chemistry with a rock. It could have been just a tree, and there would have been chemistry. And it'd be like, oh my God, the tree did so good with Blake.
That's a compliment, Blake. That is
She's that talented. So I take no credit for that.
You both are storytellers, so you know better than I that, you know, people get really invested in characters that they read on paper or see on screen, and they're protective of them, especially these characters. Yeah. So obviously when the first onset photos dropped of Blake as Lily, a lot of people had a lot to say about her wardrobe in particular. So what message do you have for maybe those fans who are being a little too critical right now before they've even seen the film?
Just go see the movie. Yeah. And also I understand, when you love something so much,
Yeah.
you know, social media is amazing in that way. Like, it gives fans a voice. And if it were not for the fans, we would not be making this movie.
Right.
So, you know, let them talk. And I don't worry about that too much because, again, the photos show one moment from one part of Lily's life. And we're not always thinking about, well, why her clothes look that way in that area. And also, once you see the movie, like, it all makes sense.
I think it also helps that, Colleen, it sounds like you did have a heavy hand in the making of this as well, right? So what do you want to tell those fans of the book?
First of all, it really means a lot that they love the book enough that they want to see it adapted in an honest, faithful way. I think that they nailed it, and I can't stress enough that if you loved the book, I believe you're going to love the film.
What would you say is the number one detail that you guys had to get right in this movie from the book?
There's so much.
Right.
There's so much.
Okay, that's a good sign.
Yeah, first of all, it's such a sensitive topic. You know, we wanted to treat it delicately, and I think that Justin did really well with that. The scriptwriter did really well with that. And, you know, even down to the small details like the flower shop and, you know, things that people loved the uniqueness of in the book. Yeah, y'all did so well.
I know it was a long journey to get here, but how are you feeling about that, Colleen?
Ecstatic.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for everyone to see it.
I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm holding on to my rock here, Colleen.
Right? Like literally leaning on each other for support right now. Yeah.
It's a nerve-wracking day.
It's been 5 years in the making.
Yeah.
So really excited that the world gets to see what we've been working on.
Can I ask you what the most nerve-wracking thing is about this? Is it because this book obviously has such a loyal audience and they care so much about this adaptation? Like, what is it?
Yeah, absolutely that. Like, you know, the readers have been so supportive throughout this whole journey for me from the very beginning. It's been almost 10 years now since I started writing this book.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want them to be happy, and I think that they're going to be happy.
Justin, knowing there's that inevitable pressure just because this is a film adaptation of a very, you know, beloved book, not only are you directing it, but you're also starring in it too.
Yeah,
so you're right.
No pressure at all.
No pressure at all.
Yeah.
What was it like wearing that many hats, especially with this feature and this project in particular?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, it was a lot of phone a friend for support.
Yeah.
Look, I think when you love something so much and when you're touched and moved by something, like as deeply as I was by this book, it just kind of comes naturally. You know? And I think what comes from the heart hits the heart, and that's kind of what kept me going throughout this whole process, is just knowing that we're working on something special that has the potential to impact millions of lives. It was fun. It was interesting. It was healing. It was all of the things. It was complex. It was beautiful. It was life.
Well, that is life, and also I feel like life as an artist too. You have to live fearlessly. Like if it scares you, you got to do it, probably, right?
No, but I remember talking to my wife about this right after I had read the book, and I was thinking about, well, I want to direct this, but I feel so drawn to also act in it. And then I was like, I can't do that. I felt the fear and I was terrified. But then that's how you know as an artist,
Right.
that there's something there for you. There's something there for you. So with her permission, we dove in together.
What would you say was the number one detail you made sure to keep in?
I think it was really important that we acknowledged that, yes, this is a movie about love and hope, but that we don't shy away from the issue. And so we brought on our partners at No More, and they were involved in the making of this movie from the beginning, because we really wanted to honor survivors in that way. So I think that was, especially because this book was so personal to Colleen, and Mama, as I call her, just making sure that we honored all of the Lilies that experience what she experiences in this book around the world, and hopefully we do it justice.
That's so beautiful. I'm glad you shared that. Actually, I had no clue, so that's really, really
First person to
amazing.
hear about it.
That's amazing. I do want to know, what's the one thing that you changed that you think book fans will be excited about or really fall in love with? What element?
What I'm excited about is that we aged the characters up a little bit. I started writing this book over 10 years ago when I was in my early 30s, and when new adult, the genre and the younger ages were really popular with publishers at that time. But I think it hits harder and closer to home when with them aged up. So I'm just really glad that you guys did that. I know there was a little bit of criticism about that, but I was personally so relieved.
What's one thing you changed?
What's one thing I changed?
Yeah. That you say with a smile.
There were so many little things.
I'm honestly shocked at how much y'all kept.
Oh.
That it is, I think he's having difficulty because they did such a good job, especially, I had a list of scenes and quotes that I were hoping would be in there, and they're all in there. So
Well, you know what it is? It's like we've spent so much time between the book and the script that you forget the line between the two.
Yeah.
One thing. Here's one thing we changed.
Are you going to say the restaurant?
Oh, go ahead.
name?
Yeah. No, you say it.
Oh,
You
okay.
should say it. Yeah.
We changed the name of the restaurant.
Okay.
It was Bibbs in the book, and it's Root in the movie. And it worked better with the script, but also Bibbs worked in the book, but it's kind of funny sounding, honestly.
I think book fans will be okay if you tweak the name of the restaurant. Colleen, your novels are a staple on Book Talk. In 2022, it outsold the Bible, which is amazing. What do you attribute all this success to, and what about your books do fans just resonate with the most, do you think?
I honestly have no idea. If I did, I would bottle it up and use it again. I don't know. I think that maybe the fact that I kind of write realistic books, maybe they can see themselves in the characters. I'm not very overly descriptive, so I think that people who want a quick, entertaining read, hopefully they get that. And sometimes they can be really emotional.
That's what I think. That right there is what we love about it too. We're all united as humans by love and loss, and this story in particular, it really encapsulates both those things.
No one does that better than Colleen.
Exactly.
No one does that better.